Story 1. I won a lifetime supply of free showers. Literally, it was 250 free showers, but that is still a great deal. That may sound silly to most people, but as a truck driver, it was amazing since each shower at that chain can cost up to $18. So I will drive clean for most, if not all, of the rest of my career. Story 2. I won tickets to meet the cast of The Mummy, and Brendan Fraser playfully made fun of the way I spell my name by reenacting my mom giving birth to me and screaming the letters. It was the best day ever. Story 3. Not me, but my grandfather won the entire showcase on The Price is Right. They still have the car he won and everything else. Story 4. Unbeknownst to me, my mother entered my brothers and me into a drawing by Fox Kids to win Goosebumps books. The grand prize was having the winner's first name written as the protagonist. I didn't win the grand prize, but I was part of the second or third prize winning groups. My prize was the complete set of mainline Goosebumps books that had been released up to that point. This was in the late 1990s when I was in the 5th grade. Story 5. My boyfriend won an expensive camera and used it to become a videographer. He left his 9-to-5 job and founded a video marketing business where he hired me. I also quit my job to become his copywriter. The butterfly effect is fascinating. Story 6. I won tickets to a concert, along with airfare and a hotel for my trip. 2 weeks later, I was informed that I was the grand prize winner, which included tickets to the Super Bowl and a meet and greet with my favorite artist. Story 7. As a kid, I won a pair of walkie-talkies, but one was broken. My mom called the magazine or whoever organized the giveaway, and they sent another pair without wanting back the broken one. 3 walkie-talkies for the price of none. Story 8. I won a sweepstakes from a huge arcade called GameWorks. I didn't even remember filling it out, but it was the best thing to ever happen to me at 12 years old. Premiere night tickets to the movie Mouse Hunt. An overnight hotel stay at Shutters in Santa Monica, California. A limo ride and red carpet at the movie premiere. An all-day free game pass for me and a friend. $500 and $500 in merchandise money at their store. It was awesome. I'm 40 and still think about that high. Story 9. The Colorado Rockies sent me a t-shirt because I answered a question on Twitter. I'm in Canada, so I thought that was pretty cool. Story 10. Not to brag, but I found the golden egg at my church's Easter egg hunt as a child and won an inflatable bunny. Story 11. I used to win many prizes from my local radio station, including concert tickets, meet and greets with VIPs, and other items. Some of my coworkers would insist that I had found a way to cheat to win, but I was just lucky. I became familiar with the secretary at the radio station's front desk, and we kept in touch. I met Alice in Chains and Lamb of God, and I also had great seats at local sports games with some nice giveaways. Story 12. Real-life PlayStation Platinum Trophy. It arrived damaged, and I received $400 in PlayStation Store gift cards instead. Story 13. I won a year's supply of Brothers cider in the UK, which is considered a bottle per day. It was delivered on a truck and dropped off on a pallet. Unloading all those cases of cider and finding storage for them was a challenge. But it was a nice problem to have until I discovered that their tutti-frutti flavor was not enjoyable. Story 14. My wife has won-door prizes and raffles more times than I can remember, but they have never been the big ones or large amounts of money. The last time was a drawing. 7 names were pulled. The first 6 were okay but not impressive. My wife won number 6, which was a collection of items supporting the local baseball team and some signed memorabilia from its star player. Nice, but no big deal. Number 7 is $7,500 in cash. Story 15. I won tickets to see Mitch Hedberg. Our local college radio station was doing a giveaway for tickets, and you just had to be the 7th caller. Well, I wasn't the 7th caller, and I was disappointed. I called the station back later and asked if I could have tickets since they were doing a few giveaways. They said yes. Mitch was fantastic. Story 16. My high school sent out an alumni survey, and I provided a critical review. As a result, I received a $50 Grubhub gift card. Story 17. I have been a lifelong fan of the amusement park Cedar Point. I held a season pass every year for about 20 years. They organized a contest in which a winner was drawn every week for several weeks. The winner was allowed to choose 3 other people to also receive the prize. I contacted everyone I thought I could trust and asked if I could enter them into the contest. I explained that if their name was chosen, they would receive the prize and could choose me as one of the 3, then select the other 2 people. I managed to get 18 people to allow me to enter their names. Week after week, I entered all of these names into the contest. It was only around the 5th week that my stepfather's name was drawn. My stepfather, my mother, my daughter, and I won, and we all have free season passes for the rest of our lives. Story 18. Too many to count, but my favorite prizes were a year's supply of toilet paper, a $1,000 gift card, and a shortwave radio. Story 19. I won an ATV in a raffle. I gave my boss $20 to buy a ticket for me and I won. She wasn't too mad. Story 20. I was the 9th caller to a radio station and won 2 tickets to see George Carlin around 2001. It was a fantastic show. Story 21. My mom and I were listening to the radio when they were giving out Disneyland tickets. She said, "Watch this," and called the number. I laughed and said, "There's no way they're picking up." But to my surprise, they did. We received 4 free tickets to Disney. It was a fun trip. I happened to be wearing a Doctor Who shirt that day, and a cast member at the Indiana Jones attraction pulled a sonic screwdriver out of his jacket pocket. It made my day. Story 22. I won a meet and greet, along with tickets to see Rammstein in 2012 from Revolver magazine. It is the only thing I have ever won. Story 23. I have won books twice, chocolate once, and a small kitty figurine. In contrast, some friends won a trip to France. Story 24. My mom enters giveaways as a hobby. Some of the better prizes include an Xbox One, PlayStation 4, a desktop computer, a trip to Branson, and $5,000. I think the weirdest prize was a case of 48 cans of black olives. We also have many branded stuffed animals and stress balls that they give as smaller prizes. Story 25. When sports first started on Twitter, I won an all-expenses-paid trip to Barbados courtesy of Kevin Weeks from the National Hockey League. He is from Barbados and hosted a multi-week trivia contest in partnership with the Barbados Tourism Board. In short, I answered the correct number of questions correctly first and spent a week in Barbados with airfare, hotel, and excursions all covered. It was amazing. Story 26. I won the chance to be an extra in Rooster Teeth's Laser Teen movie. Due to a glitch, 534 other people also won, but it was still an amazing experience. Story 27. In high school, there was a program where you could essentially pay to skip classes for the day and spend the time reading. They held drawings for prizes every hour, and I ended up winning a high-end digital camera at the time. Story 28. I have won a few notable prizes. In 2nd grade, I won the raffle to take home the class turtle at the end of the school year. I won a collection of books by a particular author, all autographed. I won a big box of cat supplies from Jackson Galaxy in a caption contest. This is the biggest prize. I won a trip for 2 to New York City, including airfare, hotel, and 2 tickets to a Broadway show. I will be going in August. Story 29. We won a tailgate package raffle. We received a full-size cooler and enough beverages to completely fill the back of our SUV with the back seats down. My kids were in college at that time. Our house was a very popular place to hang out that summer. Story 30. I won floor tickets to the Eras tour through Capital One. It was amazing. I entered on Twitter. Story 31. I remember being 10 and winning a 3-month gym membership. I was disappointed, so I traded the prize with the guy who won 2nd place for his Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Story 32. I was blacklisted from a local radio station for 1 year because I kept winning. I won tickets to a Led Zeppelin cover band for myself and a friend, tickets to a local semi-professional hockey game, where they put me and 3 friends on the bench between the 2 teams with buckets of beer, tickets to walk a brand new golf course during a tournament with a few professionals, along with a pass to golf the same course for my dad and me. That lasted about 4 months, and after that I wasn't allowed to win. Story 33. I didn't win anything, but my dad won a trip to Universal Studios in Orlando for a week. It was for the grand opening of a new hotel. I can't remember the name. It was fun hearing my dad's voice on the radio the moment he won. Story 34. I won a year of free pizza from Domino's at a Stag and Dough. It was actually 24 free large pizza coupons, and I used every single one. Story 35. When I was 11, I won a creative writing session and received 2 lottery tickets. However, I couldn't scratch them because my parents were very religious and did not believe in gambling. Therefore, I had to give them away. Story 36. My godfather does this as his main job. He wins tickets to certain events and then sells them for a significant profit. The biggest score was probably the NBA All-Star tickets, which he sold for $6,500 and could have likely gotten more. Story 37. I won 2 birds at a bird fair and also had a picture taken by someone there when I was 11. I thought it was exciting, especially because of the birds. Story 38. I won a Dyson vacuum worth 650 pounds in a charity raffle at work right before I moved out of my family home. That was 2 years ago, and it has been the most useful blessing ever. Story 39. Years ago, I entered a drawing organized by a local radio station and won 2 tickets to see Pearl Jam in St. Louis. They provided a fancy bus to transport the winners from Kansas City to St. Louis and back. It was a great experience. Story 40. I won the Taco Bell Xbox. It makes the Taco Bell sound on startup. It was the Xbox One X, so I have since upgraded, but my daughter still uses it. Story 41. I won a realistic Alf costume from a drugstore giveaway. I was in college and short, so I went trick-or-treating with friends. Story 42. I won a $500 gift card from Victoria's Secret once. They had a promotion where they included a gift card with a random amount of money on it with every purchase. Could have been $5, $50, or $500 if I remember correctly. I actually received the $500 gift card. I bought a lot of pink branded sweats with it. Story 43. I was one of 15 people who won the Nickelodeon Orange Pass Weekend Sweepstakes. We had the opportunity to visit Hershey Park, stay at their hotel, and go on a tour of the city. We even got to see the All Grown Up special early. It was a lot of fun. Story 44. I have been unusually lucky in my lifetime. I have won a 5-day trip to a dude ranch in Montana, a trip to the Super Bowl in Detroit, a ski weekend, 2 NASCAR races, $10,000 from a supermarket sweepstakes, 10 gallons of maple syrup, a 55-inch television, a Labatt beer tent, a turkey smoker, and many smaller items. If someone is giving something away, I take a chance, fill out an entry, and hope for the best. Story 45. Between my wife and me, we've won concert tickets about half a dozen times. The biggest win was at a country music festival a few years ago, where we saw many different artists. I'm not a huge country fan, but my wife is. However, we also saw Nazareth perform there, which was the highlight for me. We've seen Def Leppard, Billy Idol, Rod Stewart, Stevie Nicks, ZZ Top, and Lynyrd Skynyrd, all from tickets we've won. Story 46. I listen to the radio at work all day and call into many radio contests, winning a few times each year. I have won tickets to see BB Rexa, James Taylor and Jackson Browne, Bryan Adams, Daytona NASCAR, 3 times, Disney Water Park, and a PDQ gift card. The trick is to add their number to your contacts. Check the contest pages for the radio stations, which will inform you when to call in, and set alarms for 5 minutes before. When the alarm goes off, I listen to the station and press call when they prompt. It's not hard. The non-iHeart stations pay out the most. Story 47. A year's worth of bread, only 20 loaves, not even one a week, so a bit misleading. The CD. Tickets to a unique and intimate concert from an artist I love. A mug from my favorite radio show. A €50 gift card for winning first prize in a furniture upcycling contest. And my favorite, a crafting package I won from a drawing competition for a cheese brand when I was 7. It arrived in the mail when I was about 9, completely dented and damaged. The brand had changed its logo by then, so it felt like a time capsule. Story 48. I won a trip to see my soccer team play in San Francisco. They flew me, my boyfriend, and my dad to the United States to watch us play a preseason game with a 4-night stay in a Hilton hotel. I honestly thought it was a spam direct message when I received the alert that I had won. Story 49. When I was a kid, there was a Halloween event at my elementary school. There was a large jar of candy corn, probably about 4 feet tall, and everyone wrote down their guess as to how many pieces were inside. I guessed correctly and won the jar. I ate a lot of candy corn over the next few months. Story 50. I won a Sony Walkman and some really nice Sony headphones with noise cancellation on Twitter several years ago. I still have the Walkman player and sold the headphones for a few $100s. I couldn't believe they actually shipped it out. Story 51. I didn't have a job for a while after college, living on prizes. I won a bunch of PC parts, games, artwork, and a Nintendo 3DS to name a few. Story 52. A wooden dice case, autographed by the Acquisition Incorporated corporate team. I won it years ago and still have it in my collection. Story 53. The one thing I won wasn't even cool. When I was in the Air Force during technical school, shortly after basic training and before I went to my permanent squadron in 2003, I attended a mandatory fun event for a musical troupe called Tops in Blue, which the Air Force deemed wasteful from a budgetary standpoint. There was a crowd of approximately 700 to 800 in the audience, and I was the winner of a 500-minute calling card. At that point, I had just gotten my first prepaid cell phone. I feel like I still have that calling card somewhere. Still sealed. Story 54. I used to enter many radio call-ins. I've won tickets to see Berlin, Ozfest, Knotfest, and an industry-only show by the cult Stone Temple Pilots and Bush. There was also a trip to Las Vegas to see Aerosmith that included a hotel stay at the Hard Rock and a $100 gas card. I gambled for the first time to say that I placed a bet in Las Vegas and won $340 at roulette. I won 4 tickets to Disneyland as well, but that was right before COVID, so they expired before I could use them. Story 55. I won a giveaway for a fancy box mod vape, but forgot to provide my number. The guy at the shop found me on Facebook and informed me that I had won it, but it was a month after I quit vaping. I told my girlfriend she could have it. Story 56. In 2009, I won a pedometer in a grocery store raffle. I used it for several years before upgrading to a smartwatch. Story 57. I won an all-expenses-paid trip for 2 to a sandals resort in the Bahamas. Since I was newly married, it was perfect timing. Story 58. I won a nice gaming chair, and it's actually a comfortable one too. It was at a gaming convention where tickets were $1 each. I had $21 on me, so I bought $20 worth and kept $1. After a few hours, I still had the $1, so I bought one more ticket. They raffled off various items, and at the end, they decided to raffle off the chair that the person running the convention had used all day, which was nicer than the chairs in the raffle. They ended up picking the single ticket that I bought, which was really cool. I still have the chair, and it's pretty comfortable. Not as nice as a Herman Miller, but for $21, it's quite satisfactory. Story 59. All right, I've won a lot. 2 $100 Visa gift cards. A hand-knit $450 scarf made from rare wool. 2 tickets to a comedy show. $10 in movie points. A $20 Cineplex gift card. Diamond earrings. It was great on my birthday. A bottle of wine. A Dior perfume set. A variety of movie tickets and screenings. Movie festival passes. A $250 adult toy. A $50 jewelry gift card. A skincare basket full of products. Starfield. Various gift cards from McDonald's and Tim Hortons. A bunch of t-shirts. A Louis Vuitton baggage tag and handle strap. A hand-painted Ghibli mug. 2 free hairstyling sessions, valued at over $200 each. A set of eyelashes. A hoodie, tote bag and skincare set. A $2 bill. Animal Crossing, New Horizons downloadable content. Tons of high-quality handmade stickers. Brow tweezers and a waxing session. Underarm waxing. I genuinely love and treasure everything I've won. It's been years, and some of my biggest wins came during tough times. The Visa gift cards were all used for groceries, which saved me. I still use the skincare products and shirts. Even though I don't own Louis Vuitton, I have the tags on my backpack. Story 60. In 11th grade, I attended a technical school for culinary arts. Each year, several other technical schools and mine would select 1 or 2 students from each class to attend a leadership conference in the mountains. I wrote a paper and won. Story 61. I won $500 from the Pat McAfee Show giveaway a couple of years ago. I forgot that I had signed up, and about a month later, I woke up to a $500 Venmo payment. Story 62. I won both a PlayStation 5 from Burger King and an Xbox Series X from Kellogg. It took about 200 handwritten letters. Story 63. I won a meet and greet with Mel B, also known as Scary Spice. I spent hours drinking and talking with 4 other winners, and it was the best time of my life. I even took shots with a Spice Girl. Story 64. I won the Hamilton ticket lottery as a teenager. Unfortunately, I was hospitalized for psychiatric reasons at the same time I received the email. Story 65. I didn't win, but at my high school we held a giveaway for a copy of FIFA, and one person bought multiple tickets to win, far more than anyone else. Then he lost. I just gave him the win. I knew I shouldn't have, but he bought so many tickets, and it was really sad. Story 66. Some golden-colored silly putty was given out at a school event in 3rd or 4th grade. Story 67. A man in my town, Seguin, Texas, won a Call of Duty Elite Jeep that had special Call of Duty emblems on it. I always thought it was the coolest thing when I saw it in the Walmart parking lot. Story 68. Ninja Footy air fryer, grill, and blender. Pilates mat class. Hair care set. Dry shampoo. Hairspray. Heat protection spray. Story 69. I won a few items. Titliced golf clubs, a Galaxy S10 Plus, and a Bamboo P1S 3D printer were my most notable wins. I randomly enter contests and get lucky once in a while. Story 70. I have actually won 3. Scott's Dream Backyard awarded me $10,000 to renovate my backyard. That was my biggest win, and I was extremely excited when I received the email. I even had a 10-minute FaceTime call with Ty Pennington, who was the ambassador for the contest. I won a Yeti at Mammoth Mountain once, which was pretty cool since I didn't expect to win. I also won Jerome's best seat in the house for a San Diego Padres game. My wife and I took 2 friends, and we enjoyed all-you-can-eat food and drinks while watching the Padres win from leather recliner chairs. It was a fantastic experience. I know this seems super random, but I've been trying to win giveaways ever since the Jerome's event about 6 years ago, and I've had no luck since then. I must have used all my giveaway luck during that 2.5-year span. Story 71. A friend at work won a VIP package to the Abu Dhabi 2024 Grand Prix from a can of Jack Daniel's pre-mixed drink. Flights, accommodation, and access are all included. Story 72. In 2018, I won a car in a raffle at my workplace, which had 200 employees. I was the winner, but they waited 2 months to finally give me the car after multiple attempts to avoid handing it over. I sold the car and quit that job the following week. Story 73. Bruno Mars tickets. I was newly postpartum with my second child. My mom watched both babies so my husband and I could go. I ordered a town car and my husband and I both fell asleep on the way there, through most of the concert and on the way home. Our driver was the sweetest guy and let us sleep until about 30 minutes before the concert started. Then woke us up. Story 74. 6 local cupcakes, a fitness tracker, a baby entertainment table, instant alcoholic drink mixes, leggings, and possibly more. I have entered many giveaways. Story 75. Cleveland Guardians spring training in 1997. They were still the Guardians back then. Winter Haven, Florida. 5 days, for nights, airfare, and car rental. It was an awesome experience. Story 76. I won a gift bundle for the High Fidelity television show, which included a record player, tote bag, and album. However, we are a household of audiophiles, and that was our 5th turntable. Story 77. I won a limousine package at a bridal show for my wedding, along with my photography package. However, the photographers were not good. Story 78. I won a VHS copy of Aladdin when the local channels aired the Disney afternoon. I called the number, provided my information, and was informed that I won. 10-year-old me was thrilled. I haven't won anything since. Story 79. In middle school, I won a yellow Timex watch from a school-wide raffle during the 1996 to 1997 time period. I felt really cool wearing it around the school. I also won a laptop computer playing free bingo at a holiday party one year. The following year, I won a very nice turkey fryer. People were envious. Story 80. I don't remember the specifics, but on my 18th birthday, I won a contest for 50 cans of chewing tobacco. I have never chewed tobacco, and I have no idea why that was the prize. Story 81. A few months ago, a local ice cream shop held a gift card giveaway, and I won. Thank you for reminding me. I have $7 left on it. I need a thick milkshake. Story 82. At a local baseball game, I won tickets to a Minnesota Vikings preseason game, a baseball signed by all the players of the Honkers, and a few other items. I won all the drawings that evening. Story 83. I won a tiny, almost pocket-sized mermaid doll that came with accessories in a small shell necklace at a cheese factory. Story 84. John Legend's concert was won through a radio contest. He was great, although we were seated in the nosebleed section. You can't argue with free tickets. Story 85. I won a bicycle when I was about 9 or 10 for making the closest guess of the number of gumballs in a jar. Story 86. I entered 2 random giveaways about 13 or 14 years ago. The first one won me a 7 Dust box set signed by the band. The second won me a Megadeth box set, along with a signed Dave Mustaine Flying V guitar. It was a great experience, and I still have everything. Story 87. A few years ago, when I was 6, my family and I attended a local family festival at the cinema for the 2011 Octonauts Christmas specials. There was a raffle for everyone in the cinema, and I won the second prize, an Octonauts submarine toy for the bathtub. Story 88. I attended a home and garden show and entered a drawing at a pest control company, where I won a gas barbecue grill. Story 89. A year's supply of Girl Scout cookies, totaling 52 boxes. I put several in the freezer and shared some with my neighbors. It was fun. Story 90. My dog won a personalized chew stick made from an olive tree with her name engraved and a box of dog pralines. Story 91. Once in my entire life, I won tickets to Ozfest 2000 by calling into our local radio station when those were still a thing. 25 years later, it is still the highlight of my life. Getting married and having kids was cool, but my very first real concert right after graduating featured Ozzy Osbourne, Slayer, Pantera, Static X, Kitty, and Slipknot. Story 92. I won 2 tickets and 2 backstage passes to a Bonnie Raitt concert because a radio station was running a large promotion at the bar where my friends and I went to enjoy a sundae. It was free to enter, so I submitted my name and ended up winning. They brought me on stage to interview me, and I jokingly said, "I don't even want to go." At that moment, several women started pushing their husbands toward me to try to get the tickets and passes. The highest bidder walked away with my winnings, and I made $350. Story 93. I won a timeless giveaway on Instagram and received 5 flip cap pen cases with batteries, a hat, pins, a few bags, and one that I still use every day, stickers, and a $250 Visa gift card. I also won stickers from a small business and a boudoir shoot from another business, which I ultimately didn't take because they wanted to charge for additional services. Between 2013 and 2019, I won a total of 15 to 20 concert ticket giveaways from radio stations, online platforms, and local record stores, including Hozier, Pierce the Veil, a meet and greet with a day to remember, and many festivals. Additionally, my best friend recently won free coffee for a year from our favorite local coffee shop. So the moral of the story is to enter those giveaways. Story 94. I opened a bottle of sports drink, and it said I had won the grand prize inside the bottle cap. I had to go to the website and enter a code. It was the early 2000s, and I thought I had hit it big, like winning a car or a trip somewhere. Instead, it was just a screensaver of their logo. Story 95. I won a $40,000 bathroom renovation, which included all the fixtures, redwood paneling, and a slider to the outdoor area, as well as an additional $4,000 for extras. The only problem was that my wife and I were living in an apartment at the time and could not use the prize. I arranged for the prize to be given to my in-laws. Story 96. My friend won a free trip to Los Angeles and an exclusive invite to a black-tie New Year's Eve party at the Playboy Mansion when Hugh Hefner was alive. I was his +1, and it was a crazy experience. We received airfare, hotel accommodations, and the party invitation. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.